Swimming Pool International, the Swimming Pool Podcast.
A warm welcome to our International Swimming Pool Podcast. In front of me sits Angela Herrmann, Export Manager at Benke Manufacturing in Germany.
And in front of me sits Michael Fissert, Export Manager at Fluvo Schmalenberger from Tübingen in Germany. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Angela. It has been a while since we've met. Or actually in June, and also here.
Yes, exactly in Witney.
But we are back in Witney in the UK, and today we are with Steve Nelson, Commercial and International Director for Certikin, who I've known for many, many years now. Probably I've been with Fluvo now for 15 and a half years, and I've met Steve from the beginning. And the topic of today is very, very interesting. Pool and wellness in football clubs in the UK, which is, as far as I know, the only country where Fluvo is involved in football clubs.
Hi, Steve. Hi.
Hi. Good morning.
I actually have to say I had the best morning ever here in Witney because somebody said to me, "Good morning in Witney." And I said, "Good morning." It was so lovely, and the weather is nice. And here we are sitting with Steve, talking about football in UK, and that actually leads me, of course, to the first question. And very simple: do you like football?
I do.
How come?
It's a passion in the UK. It's our institutional sport. You know, I think it's ingrained in society right through the country that, you know, football is the biggest sport in the UK and the biggest revenue sport generation for the UK. We've got the Premier League is probably the biggest football league in the world.
Certainly, when it concerns all the money that's flowing into this, it's amazing. That's why everybody wants to play here.
I asked my son before we came here. I'm like, because he does play football. I'm like, tell me something about England football. I need to know really quick all the updates. And he's like, okay, they have the oldest football club it's Sheffield, no? Which was founded in 1857, I think I read. So it's really, really old. So football goes back here ages and ages. And what I found interesting, it was actually founded from church and schools and even from enterprise, from working, you know, like they had football clubs. So it's really, as you said, into society deeply, you know? So, yeah, well, that is coming to the football. We are not generally we're not the business of football. So how come that we actually talk about football since we're working in swimming pools? So we are actually, Steve, tell me something about your work, about your background, what you do in the pool business.
Well, I fell into the pool business probably age 14, finding a part-time job in a swimming pool shop, working the counter at weekends selling chemicals, and it went on from there. I tried to get out the industry. I went to university to try to get a proper degree, to get a proper job in a proper industry, and I'm back in the industry, never left. You know, I went and got an international finance degree, thinking I would do a proper job, and came back to the industry, and that was 22 years ago within Certikin.
Wow. So it's kind of interesting. So when you're 14 years old, you already started in the pool business to work. So something must have attached you to this industry, no?
It's an industry that, you know, the people, the products, you know, you're creating an aspirational product for people. You know, it gets into the blood, and every day is different. You know, no 2 days are the same, no two projects are the same in the industry. No two pools, no two wellness suites, no two football clubs even.
Yeah. So this is what is so interesting for you about this industry, no? That you create something and somehow it led to to football as well. But just coming to football, we will do that later. About the market, the UK market, how do you see, or what does it make difference, or in the pool industry, what is going on here?
Yeah, and in particular, what is the main difference? Since you are also involved in export, you know how to make the comparison. What is the main difference between England, let's say, and the European markets?
I think a swimming pool, a domestic swimming pool in England, is a very, very high aspirational product. Unlike Southern Europe, where you're flying into Barcelona or a holiday, there you can see hundreds of thousands of pools in the garden. You're flying into London or something, you see the pools, but the pools tend to be in the larger properties in the countryside, especially the outdoor pools. So in England, a pool is a real aspirational product compared to Europe. So you need a certain amount of wealth to be able to afford a pool in the UK.
Yeah, it's actually true. Yesterday, I'm always looking at the pools. No, when I'm in the plane, I always looked, and I saw. I think I only saw one actually from looking down. Arriving into Heathrow. So yeah, so it's
But
maybe hidden then
but
also.
it's still kind of strange in that sense. In general, let's say the wealth of the average person that can afford a pool, let's say in Germany or in Holland, the income and so on is not lower in the UK. So there's other reasons why. I mean, especially if you look at fiberglass pools, everybody buys a fiberglass pool in Europe, and it's an amount of money. But like in Belgium, let's say every second or every third person in the country would have a pool. Why wouldn't that be? Why is it different here?
I think it's probably the cost of land and cost of houses as well. We seem to like to live together in the UK. You look at London, you look at our cities where the richer people live. We've got limited amount of land as well.
Okay. So you mean that in other countries people like to live a little bit more in the country, a little bit more rural, or okay, because it's not just income.
No, I think it's income, land, house prices, running costs. It's all contribution factors towards the cost of a pool.
So for that same reason, you don't have these massive fluctuations like we have in the mainland, because it's the rich people anyway that tend to have money anyway.
It is. I mean, there's macroeconomic forces,
Yeah.
that affect the rich as well as
Yes, of
middle
course.
income people. But
In general,
the rich, maintain their wealth.
yes. Okay.
But it's
So
also in Germany. We were very slow starting actually this pool. We had a garden to plant strawberries. You know, so we were also very late in actually discovering when France already had a pool and a spa and everything, and Germany was still planting. So you think probably the ground doesn't get bigger, no. So, but we were also very delayed in having this wellness idea. Is that something also could be a little bit?
I think that's coming more into the forefront now. The outdoor living space in UK. The outdoor kitchen area, the
yes.
outdoor social space in UK. As the weather's getting warmer, the climate's changing, people are realising that outdoor space is somewhere they can entertain as well, and the pool fits in well with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but so far, this is the system. Well, the main topic of today is wellness in football clubs, and not just wellness, generally speaking, the pools. So tell me, how did this all start? What was the first project? Were you already at Certikin when the first project started, or was it even before your 22 years?
I think the first projects were just about before my 22-year tenure at Certikin, and they were Glasgow Rangers and Glasgow Celtic. I think
Oh, really?
coincidental that both Rangers and Celtic had pools with hydro massage in them in the late 1990s.
Okay.
And really cottoned on to this idea that, a pool's not just a pool, but using massage therapy for the players would assist in their recovery or rehabilitation. So they were the first pools, and then it's really snowballed after that throughout the years, all the major clubs, all the Premier League clubs have invested in their pools, and the scale and the complexity of the pools have just continued to snowball thereafter.
So would you say that before this Glasgow setup, there wasn't any pools in any football clubs, or very just like the regular bath where all the players go?
Yeah, I think the pools were in the training grounds a regular pool to do laps in. There was nothing special. It was to do 20 or 30 lengths just to build.
Basically just to exercise rather than
Yeah.
than anything else. Oh, okay.
So this is how it started. So the clubs came to you, or they said we want a pool, or
No, I think the clubs came to the larger pool builders in UK, and Certikin being a major distributor of not just products we manufacture ourselves, but a lot of international branded products. They started to pull products from our portfolio, and adding them to the pool. The counter currents, the massage jets, the air pads, cannons, water features, things like that started to escalate in the pools.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, and how did it spread from there? The word got spread out, or how did it evolve?
I think it evolved from there. I think the boom in TV revenue for the elite clubs and the boom in the Premier League. I was looking, and the Premier League, it's around £2 million per point for every point they generate in the league throughout the season.
Oh, really?
So the margins, the differences from a last-minute header to make a draw or a last-minute goal to win a game is massive revenue income for the clubs now. So the clubs are investing in that marginal gains. If they can get the players to recover quicker, if they can get a player back from injury 2 weeks earlier, it's all these marginal gains that can just improve the output of a club and obviously generate income.
Oh, yeah. It's £2 million a point.
Roughly that.
Yeah.
And then go on top of that, all the sponsorship, all the additional shirt sales, Champions League. It just snowballs from there.
Oh, and this also started first in like late 90s, early 2000s.
It started then, and the clubs have continuing to invest and reinvest.
Okay. But before that time, there were no high revenues from television.
Not really. I mean, we all have seen the boom. Football players are now multi-millionaires.
Yes.
And celebrities now. Previous to that, you would see them walking down the street, living normal lives.
Okay. I wasn't aware of that. Okay. £2 million roughly a point. Then you are very eager to get at least a draw.
I'm not really, I live in Cornellà, so it means I'm a fan of Espanyol. And one time I visited the stadium, and also you could see the changing rooms and everything. And I saw that they have a spa. That's my closest I came ever to be a football club, and in the wellness area. So the football players, how does they, is it like you said, okay, at the beginning they used to do laps and so on, and now how does they use it? Is it before, after, in between? How is it?
I think you have the training ground facilities where they're used in the training ground every day, and the pool, the hydro pool, and now the hot and cold therapy pools, not to mention the sauna and the steam room, is all part of the routine where they're going from hot to cold to rehabilitate their muscles.
Yeah.
But also, sports science is becoming a much bigger part of football. Nutrition, sports science. Back in 20, 30 years ago, football players, would be out drinking heavily, bad diet, having full smoking, having full English breakfast like you had this morning, Michael.
Yeah.
Now their diet's managed, their lifestyle's managed.
Yes.
And sports therapists and sports scientists are recognizing different massage therapies, especially on different parts of the body, the muscles, on how different pressures of water and flows of water can help rehabilitate the muscles. And using products that we've got in our portfolio, they're proven, they're scientifically tested to know an output of a Newton pressure meter against a certain calf or leg muscle, and the sports therapists are grabbing hold of that, knowing it's good for the players.
Yes. Well, and a very good example is Ronaldo. 38 years, he's lived this style of life with all his. Okay, and then how does a project like this actually start? Is it do the football clubs have like public tenders, or does it go through certain pool builders or contractors who've done it before? Do you know?
We've got a handful of very good consultants in the UK that have experienced football clubs, and it tends to follow if one club employs this certain contractor or this certain consultant, then the next club will do, because of their history of designing football club pools, and then it will go out for tender, and then usually a handful of the commercial pool builders will pick it up and run with the consultants led design. So the consultants are pulling from all their history of previous football clubs or previous pools they've done, and adding the components of the items to build a complete wellness facility for the club, whether that's in the training ground or it could be in the stadium. We've seen with the recent build of new stadiums, we've seen a lot of clubs investing in the changing rooms, only the home changing rooms for hot and cold, pools after the match for the players to rehabilitate. It's interesting that they only put them in the home changing rooms, so the away team doesn't get any nice facilities. They get a couple of showers. The home team gets all these hot and cold therapy pools for the players to cool down after a match.
Oh, really? Okay, so they really treat the opponent as the enemy.
It's when money's involved, it's all marginal games, psychological games. The away team goes into a bland, basic changing room. The home team goes into a changing room with nice benches, nice and warm. It's all these marginal gains that the clubs play.
Oh, really? That's amazing.
Can you say what is the most I don't know but if you can say what is the most amazing one?
I think still up there was Manchester City was a very, very high-end training ground and facility, and they really invested heavily in not only the main team but also the youth academy and the women's team, and they really invested heavily in hot and cold pools, reverse lazy rivers, wellness facilities, and even cryogenic chambers are coming into the training grounds now. These chambers.
What is the last one you said?
A cryogenic chamber, where you go into a Baltic cold ice fridge for 3 or 4 minutes and nearly freeze to death, and then you come out and it apparently helps the body and helps the blood flow and all that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Amazing. And
not for me.
No, definitely not. Is there a difference between the woman and the man? Is there like special needs, or what women prefer, or men, or something?
Not currently, but as the women's game becomes more mainstream, and especially in the last 3 or 4 years, the women's game in the UK has really boomed. I can see that facilities will be tailor-made to the women's game, and if there is any differences that women need or prefer in their rehabilitation or their training, then they'll adapt to that to get the marginal gains as well against the other ladies' clubs.
Mm-hmm.
So you could say that, based on the fact that there are certain consultants, I wouldn't say specialized in this, but have a certain experience. So is there like a blueprint where they copy from the previous one and maybe adapt, change it a bit, or is it all done? It's actually two questions in one, or is it individually designed as per club's wishes, or is it a mixture?
I think it's a mixture. It's based on what space the club has got, whether it's a new training ground or an existing facility. The consultants will then take components so they can pull certain massage stations or hot and cold pools based on the size and build a pool or a hydro pool based on the equipment that they have. And also its progression. I mean,
Yes.
we've done a training ground recently where, the new technology, new products, they've got underwater treadmills and they've got video cameras recording the players who can run underwater, so the sports therapists, the physiotherapists can see the movements of the players underwater to see if they're running correctly and just improving their.
It's amazing.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, it really became a science.
It's science, yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
So could you say that every new project is more sophisticated than the previous one?
Looking back over the 20 years, definitely, it started off with a couple of countercurrents and some massage jets and maybe a cannon. Now it's underwater treadmills, video cameras, targeted massage therapy for nearly each player in the team, where a player can have a massage station and tailor-make the pressure and the flow of water to each player's needs and deep tissue massage.
Wow, that's amazing.
But you have like one spa or a pool, and then you adjust, no? Or, at the end you have for every player a pool.
Each player has a potential a station within the
Station. Ah, okay.
pool. So, so down one side of the pool there could be 13 massage stations down the side of the pool that each player from the squad will stand against and benefit from.
And now virtually any club or every club has this kind of facilities, or is it still growing?
It's still growing, and they're reinvesting. We've done a club recently that we did 10, 12 years ago, and they're upgrading the facility again because of the technology, because of the performance.
Right.
They want to go to that next stage.
Oh, right. So it will be, steady business for years to come.
Hopefully.
And everything inside these wellness pool areas is more or less supplied by Certikin, including like the underwater cameras, or
no. I mean, underwater cameras and underwater systems are not Certikin, but we provided the underwater treadmills, all the underwater lights, all the filtration equipment, all the massage equipment, and then the sauna and the steam room equipment. So we provide pretty much most of the mainstream, but the technology and the equipment's become so specialized that it's
impossible for one supplier.
Yes.
But for you, when we talk about wellness in football clubs, our part, the Fluvo part, so to speak, is just a small part of the whole thing.
It's a small part, but it's the unique part of the whole thing. A filter is relatively much a filter. Whereas the Fluvo have got proven technology for their massage equipment.
Right.
The Carabic nozzles, the foot jets, the Forte jets, so they've all got a given output pressure of Newton meters force at a given flow. That's unlike virtually anyone else in the industry where,
Yeah.
a hydro massage jet's just something that's built into the wall, and you put a pump with multiple, like in a spa bath.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just there. Whereas Fluvo is proven technology and targeted against calves, muscles, back massage, and that's where the clubs are really picking up on that technology.
Okay, so apparently it supplies the needs for the players after all these years. Very, very good.
But as I feel now, you're really an expert in this field, no? So you only do it in UK, or also because there are more, football is becoming more popular around the world.
We tend to concentrate in UK, and I think where, obviously we're the Fluvo distributor in the UK, so we're using that technology in the UK market. I think probably the Bundesliga and certain leagues are catching up with the UK, especially when foreign managers come in or players are moving around Europe more often. That their expectations, if they've played or worked in a UK club, is to have all these facilities available to them. And if a top-rate manager moves from the UK to a German team, as part of the training setup, he would want all that equipment available for the team.
Yeah.
So currently it's a pretty unique situation in the UK, would you say?
It's a unique situation in the UK, but it's also extending not just to football. We're doing rugby, we're doing cricket teams now, because these elite sports, it comes down to money. The money involved and the marginal gains they can make is so much that they need every advantage they can get.
I would be interested to know how this goes in the US, because there it's the whole franchise thing about making money with American football, basketball, baseball.
They probably have it too.
I
right?
mean, the money floating around there is even more than it is here.
I think in the US market they have standalone treadmill pools that are sunk into the ground and massage pools that are very small, one-person use. That tends to be where their focus is, but I think the US market might go further and have all these interactive or adapted hydromassage therapies for different players, different sports.
Right.
And is it very, but I'm asking anyway, it's super private. Normal people, at least somebody else is doing sports there. You cannot, it's...
No, the elite clubs, the pool is for the elite team. It's not used by the staff or anything. A couple of the clubs, we're doing facilities that at best are going to have 20 people using it at any time.
Okay.
They're closed, and it's very secretive. One club doesn't know what another club's done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
They don't exchange the secret.
No. I think the rumour mill, and it gets out, and as support staff move around and people move around the clubs, they probably take the intellectual information away to say what this elite club has compared to that elite club, and it's, we call it keeping up with the Joneses, that every club's trying to better each other. So the next club that's going to invest wants to be better than the previous club that's just invested.
It's amazing. I never thought that the whole science behind it, and that in the end it's all about money. How to
I have to talk to Espanol. I think it's not enough what they have. Do you have like a, because I always ask that, it's my part. Do you have like a cool story?
So I do. So
oh, that's good.
We did a fairly large project for, at the time it was a Premier League team.
Yeah.
And space was really limited, so we had to fit 10 massage stations in this hydro pool that was no bigger than 6 metre by 3 metre.
Yeah.
And it was bonkers. It needed 300 cubic metres of flow just for massage features. It was like It was like a tornado when in that room when you turned all the jets on. Anyway, the players were over the moon with it.
Yeah.
And they loved it. And about 18 months later, I got a call from the pool contractor going, "We need to replicate that pool." "Oh, really? Why is that? Are you having another pool at the club?" No, the club owner has used the pool and she loves it so much she wants it replicated in her house.
Oh, wow.
So she went into the elite club changing facility and used that pool and loved all the features, all the jets so much that she replicated it in her house.
Wow, she has a tornado there now.
She does indeed.
Amazing. Really, really interesting.
It's a woman.
She's a very, very wealthy woman in the UK, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is there anything else you may want to add that we didn't ask or?
No, I think my closing thoughts are, I think, having worked with football clubs in this industry for the last 20 years, and seen how the technology has grown in the past 20 years, it'll be really interesting to see where it goes in the next 20 years, and whether AI will become a bigger part of these marginal games that the artificial intelligence will be looking at, the way the players run underwater, or, how to target the therapy more precisely to really get these little wins out the clubs to get the players back.
Yes, I'm sure it will. AI is in also in everything that concerns health. Sports is getting massive. As you may see, I've lost about 20 kilo with all sorts of software and diets where AI is also involved, and it's getting everywhere. So for sure in sports where it's all about money.
Yeah, machines. Even the players will be.
Well, thank you very much, Steve, for this very, very interesting topic. And then I have a question for you, Angela. What did you learn today?
I learned, actually, I dived into a new world, to be that it's so in detail, how the football players are trained, and that everything is measured, and you use all the features what we have nowadays with massage, and I was wondering probably aromatherapy and lights and everything what is included, and medicine, and how it is already advanced to the time when the football player just was on the field and maybe did the lap of swimming in a short time, in 20 years, you said. No? So I learned this extreme development.
It's much more a science than I ever imagined.
Yeah.
Okay, so we came to the end, and I'm sure there's a lot of listeners will love this topic because there are so many football lovers, and this is really inside information. So you can write us with any comments or questions at mail@swimmingpool-podcast.com. Goodbye.
Danke.
Gracias.
Merci.
Sheshe.
Danke wel.
Spasiba.
Swimming Pool International, the Swimming Pool Podcast.